G'day! In today's video I've got a Xiaomi Redmi 7 and this one I'm going to be doing a whole screen and housing swap. So this one I've already purchased the part, hopefully I've got the exact right model here, but we'll see as we go along the way. Looking at it on the back we have the model number, probably hard to read, M1810F6LG. This particular one's been on my blue heat pad here at 70 degrees Celsius now for a bit of time. It does look like almost like a knockoff of a Samsung Galaxy A20. And the steps to swap this out are probably going to be fairly similar. I'm going to use heat, isopropyl, and a couple of tools. So to begin with, I'll take the SIM tray out, or at least I'll try. This one's seen some better days. There we go. To the side. And now I want to use a couple of different tools. Metal pry tool, thin plastic pry tool, and another thin metal pry tool, plastic pry tool. And what I want to do is put some isopropyl around the back cover. Isopropyl makes the adhesive lose a fair bit of its stickiness. And with that combined with the thin metal pry tool, should hopefully be able to get in there. Actually, where's the seam on this? The seam on it's actually pretty ridiculous. So I'm not sure if it is the exact same model. I can't get this to slide in. Nope. Speak too soon. There we go. Stuff that there. Put some isopropyl. Put the big metal pry tool underneath. Take it the thin one and work my way around just a little bit. Next up I'll switch to the plastic one. Go. Now I'm not sure how this home button's attached. Kind of see it down there, so I'm going to hold that button as I pull the back cover off, just to not accidentally tear the back cover. And back up this way. Go. Hope the back stayed in the end anyway. Fold it over. Look at it there. Compared to there. Most of those screws look like they're lining up. So next up I'm going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. And we'll take out all these screws. Assumably they're all going to be of the same length. Some of them aren't wanting to leave. Some are. A magnetic screwdriver definitely helps with this, that's for sure. Okay, that should be able to lift up now. I'll disconnect this one. I'll put this off to the side from here. And those screws I'm going to bunch up here. We do have one down the bottom here. Undo that. Put off to the side. Next I'll disconnect the battery. So I'm just digging my fingernail under and lifting up. There we go. Let's get that. Still an antenna connected. I'd probably recommend leaving this if you've never done one of these before. Leave that attached. Let's work its way down. Next up, we've got to swap the earpiece speaker, which will hopefully leave. There we go. It's going to go here. Go. Next up, I want to focus on the bottom half of this one. Since there's heat in there, I'm going to take that off, sit that on here. Next I'm going to take this off. The charging port will be under the loudspeaker just here. Now we do have gold screws. I should be able to crab walk that out. And lose some screws in the process. There we go. Next I'm going to swap from here to here. We'll disconnect the sub cable. And one small screw here. Put up here. Yeah, this will be slightly glued in, I believe. It will have some form of adhesive. Next up is moving this one. There we go, take that one out, swap them over. Okay. Now I put this screw back in. Two here. From here I'm going to line the main board back up. So I'm going to make this cable here run along here. And the main board should be able to sit in here too, like so. And we're making that run in the groove over here. Put this screw in over here. This screw screws down and locate and over the top of the home button and or power and volume up and down connector, which is living under here. So that screws it down. So when you put the phone back together and it doesn't power on, do double check that this is pushed down flush and the screw's tightened up. Next up as well, I'll put in the sub connector. Click that in down here. And push this in. Usually I lean it from the bottom. Not quite. Okay, I'm happy with. There to there. Tighten these up from there. Next up is swapping of the battery, which the battery will be probably one of the more challenging parts, other than the back cover itself. I'd expect with it that I'm going to use isopropyl, which will make the adhesive of the battery a lot softer, and in turn make it come out a lot easier. If you don't have heat or a battery, you've got to try and pry it out, which you don't really want to bend it. I'm not seeing a... No, actually, we might be in luck. If we pull this... Nope. That failed, as they usually always do. Next up, I'll skip to my advanced method. Isopropyl down underneath the battery. On both sides. Go. And then, should be able to use hopefully just a metal pry tool to lift it. Granted, metal on batteries is not good. If you have a plastic one that's very similar, you could try that. Typically to get a leverage, I use the metal, and then I switch to the plastic after. Like that. There we go, one battery removed, relatively straight. So now that's right to be tossed to the side. Then we can focus on the new one. So next up from here, I will tape in the new battery, and then we'll proceed to reassemble the rest of this. Now I don't really have any good tape at the moment, but this stuff should suffice. Unless the phone gets violently dropped, it's really not going to wobble around too much. I should just be able to put some along here, some along the other side. There. Go over it a bit. sit the battery in. What I normally do here as well is I connect the battery up just to make sure I know it's going to connect without stretching the cable. So I've connected it, I'll disconnect it again, and then I proceed to connect up these charging board and then the display. Next up, I want to connect up this flex cable. I need to figure out the orientation of it. So I should be able to fold it this way. Looks like it needs to connect back facing to my left. Just hold my finger over the top, push down, locks it into position. Should be able to feed this down a little bit. Should be able to connect the battery back up again. Push down, lock in. There we go. Screw in. Another screw. Typically, if you're missing screws, I would recommend it to do the corners first. There. There's my screws there, caught on the magnet. All these screws here are of the same length. So you shouldn't have to be too concerned about them. And next up, I'm going to use some B7000 frame adhesive to stick the back cover on the phone. Last one here. That kind of lives like that there. Should be able to fold it, push it down, should stick. But I will open it up a bit more. Fold it like a book. Factory adhesive still actually pretty good. I should just be able to put a bead on a couple of different spots that require it. Feed this along here. And then down and around, back over this edge. Go. My chaos. One screw has disappeared from me. Not seeing it on my cover. Magicked away from my bench. There's one here. Push down here, make sure it's all clicked into position. Should just be able to fold it over and push it together. Go. From there, should have one repaired Redmi 7. Hope that helps with your screen repair, or screen and frame repair on your Redmi 7, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.